honey, I am so not threatened by you. My man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. You're just mad because I have a Chad. And last time I checked, you don't have a man. So, looks like
In the middle of the night, in my dreams, you should see the things we do, baby. Yeah, my man, she my nigga for a reason. I can tell her all my secrets, cause I know that she gon' keep her. Ain't nothing come between us. I'ma be taking them pics, looking all fly and shit. I'ma be the flyest chick. I'ma be spreading my wings. I'ma be doing my thing.
Do it.
Okay. I'ma toot that ass, toot that ass. If you a ball player, I'm tryna recruit that ass. Said I taste like ice cream, he wanna scoop that ass. Turn around, do the brown, Uncle Luke that ass. Say, they shooting. I made.
A quick trip down memory lane shows Gypsy behaving like a teenager on her 4th Red Bull, parading around in lingerie, full glam, and a blowout just to clap back at a creator who wasn't even in the same galaxy of threat. Her insecurities weren't subtle. They were practically screaming in fluorescent highlighter. And honestly, who didn't wonder, is there really no one around her willing to say, hey, maybe don't humiliate yourself on camera today? Then came the brief era of pretend maturity. When she got pregnant, Gypsy hired a crisis management team, and suddenly her posts looked, well, less like a cry for help. Still absurd, but at least not broadcasting her emotional age, which you'd think would be the bare minimum, because a pregnant woman should probably aim for behavior somewhere north of sophomore year. But guidance isn't free. Red Banyan tried to steer her, but the moment Gypsy realized it came with a price tag, out they went. For a while, Gypsy seemed to take what she had learned from Red Banyan and apply it, but it didn't last. Before we knew it, we were back to the black lingerie and cringe-worthy videos. We watched as best we could, but it was difficult to see with our eyes rolled so far back in our heads. And we wondered if there was anyone telling Gypsy the truth. You're making a fool of yourself. And this brings us right to the crows. A group of crows isn't called a flock, it's called a murder. The name comes from how crows behave. They gather tightly, they move as one, and when they feel threatened, they attack in a coordinated swarm. Crows don't defend because they care. They defend because they sense disruption. They protect the noise, not the truth. That's why I use the term murder of crows in this story. It describes a small, specific group of people who surround Gypsy with that same synchronized aggression. They circle around her narrative, swoop down on anyone who asks questions, and work together to keep her version of events untouched. They don't encourage clarity. They don't encourage honesty. They encourage whatever keeps the story alive. The group now known as the Crows didn't form by accident.
Or that she's going to be okay in her newfound freedom, but also newfound fame.
Yeah, I mean, we want to get someone to help her, control her social media, because she's still learning.
They were chosen, handpicked by Christy, Gypsy's replacement mother. Christy wasn't looking for stable, grounded influences. She gathered people whose personalities matched the chaos of the story. Loud voices, quick tempers, people with volatile pasts who could relate to the extremity of Gypsy's crime because their own lives weren't far from it. And one may have been a special friend of Christy's.
That is friends with Christy and Gypsy. This is Miss Ma'am's search engine. I need you guys to screenshot this and zoom in and come back to comment because the tea is hot.
The B Nina refers to is Brianna. Bree, or auto-corrected as Bro, is a figure who has consistently shown a natural talent for creating endless excuses for Gypsy's inconsistencies. So where were the murder of crows when Gypsy was posting her cringe-worthy content? Turns out they were right behind her the entire time. They weren't just behind her, they were participating, giving Gypsy what she wanted, support in the oddest ways. They weren't recruited for wisdom or maturity. They were selected because they were already predisposed to defend extreme decisions, overlook contradictions, and rally around someone who played the victim. And let's be real, they were and are starstruck, completely swept up in the novelty of being connected to someone with national attention. It wasn't admiration based on character, it was fascination based on notoriety. Instead of seeing Gypsy as a woman who needed to get her life on track after prison, they saw her as their gateway into relevance. Being close to her gives them a sense of importance that they don't have on their own, and they chase that feeling with everything they have with the hope that Gypsy will share the spotlight with them. Even if Gypsy could book an interview at this point, she's not the sharing type. Yet they keep hoping she'll notice their undying devotion and amply reward them. This group quickly proved to be a destructive influence. They acted like teenagers playing at loyalty, impulsive, combative, and wildly uninformed about the case they claimed to protect. Instead of encouraging responsibility or honesty, they fueled Gypsy's worst instincts. They fought with strangers online, misquoted facts, and spread whatever version of events felt convenient in the moment. Their behavior was childish and reactive, the kind of emotional immaturity that sees conflict as entertainment and misinformation as currency. Rather than grounding Gypsy, they pushed her further into recklessness, validating every lie and excusing every contradiction. Their loyalty to each other, and especially to Bree, the leader of the Crows, and Gypsy, goes beyond normal friendship. They even got matching tattoos of their group name, F-Bree-I. That alone speaks volumes. It wasn't about unity or purpose. It was about belonging to something reckless, chaotic, and performative. Matching tattoos for a drama-born friend group is the kind of impulsive gesture you see in people desperate for identity, desperate for a role, desperate to cement themselves into Gypsy's story. And instead of asking why they needed that kind of validation, they wear it like a badge of honor. These aren't grounded individuals, and if the tattoos don't prove that, perhaps these clips will demonstrate their mindset.
And I've always felt this way. They secretly fangirl inside and wish they could speak to her. Because I guarantee
If I ever see you, I will rip your fucking face off.
Motherfucker, I'm not even the one that's been cutting you off, you stupid fucking bitch. I'm not even the one that's...
See you, I will grab you by the fucking neck and I will chain you to a fucking fence and then I will beat the fucking piss out of you. Wow.
The influence doesn't stop at the tattoo parlor. A memorable example of poor judgment is when Bree accompanied Gypsy to a sex shop on national television, which, according to Bree, Gypsy's healthy kink was showcased in front of the world. Bree knows that sex toy shopping didn't support the wholesome image Gypsy wanted to portray. Bree doesn't have a mental condition that makes her unreasonably impulsive. Bree knew exactly how inappropriate that was. But she did it anyway. A real friend would have said, "Gypsy, no, this isn't the place, and this isn't the time. This won't help your image. This is going to hurt Aurora in the future." Instead, Bree went with it, because shock value meant more attention, more screen time, and more visibility for herself. It wasn't about Gypsy's well-being. It was about the show. When Gypsy casually called herself a freak in the sex shop, she wasn't just being edgy. She was tearing apart the very image she tries to sell to the public. You cannot claim to be a traumatized victim of rape by Nick or a survivor of alleged sexual abuse by a grandfather while simultaneously performing sexualized shock value antics on national television or social media. That contradiction destroys credibility. It projects someone who is playing roles instead of telling truths, someone who shapeshifts depending on which version will get the most attention in the moment. And this is exactly where Bree and the crows should have swooped in with guidance and protected the narrative Gypsy claimed she wanted to build. Instead, they amplified the chaos, praised her for it, and pushed her deeper into behavior that undercut her own story. The viewer is left to wonder who Gypsy really is, a frail victim or a hypersexual exhibitionist, and why on earth did her friend go along with it? And then came the night the crows celebrated the end of Gypsy's parole, a moment that should have been private, grounded, and protective. Instead, they shoved a visibly drunk Gypsy in front of a camera for the world to witness. In wine there's truth, and we saw it. The real Gypsy surfaced with every shot poured down her gullet. The crows squawked, clapped, and cheered her on, behaving like hype girls desperate for content rather than friends concerned for her future. What good are the crows if they can't even offer the most basic layer of protection? Gypsy proved it wasn't her first time drinking as she threw back the shots like a seasoned pro. And what emerged was not the demeanor of a victim, but the raw, unfiltered behavior of someone far more aligned with a perpetrator than the fragile persona she tries to sell. So who did this spectacle really benefit? Showing an obliterated Gypsy on live stream with the crows squawking and cheering like deranged hype beasts, praising her for every sloppy move. She soaked it up almost as fast as she swallowed the shots.
Your hair looks really cute, Gypsy.
Thank you. It's
It really does.
Yeah.
Everyone in the comments keeps saying how beautiful you look. They really do.
You are gorge.
You are very beautiful.
So pretty.
Thank you. I was like, I don't even know.
It inflated her ego beyond what the alcohol already had, convincing her she could do no wrong. The crows weren't guiding her. They were competing for her attention, drowning each other out in a storm of praise so loud it became meaningless. It was messy, and as her so-called friends, their job should have been to protect her image, not shove a camera in her face and broadcast the unfiltered, unvarnished version of Gypsy the world wasn't supposed to see.
Yes.
Already did.
Yes. Do it.
No, you
Do it. You can do it, Gypsy. You have plenty of practice.
Come on, girl. You can do it.
Did you hear me?
You can't tell me you haven't done this shit with no your hands before.
I was going to say, you can do it. You have plenty of practice, Gypsy.
Exactly. Don't pretend. Don't pretend.
Gypsy's intention from the moment she stepped out of prison was to reinvent herself as some kind of social media personality. And that's a whole separate conversation. But at the time of this live stream, her sights were locked on becoming a mommy influencer. As absurd as that goal was, it's what she wanted, and the crows knew it. A mommy influencer isn't introduced to the world as a drunken slop on camera, and the crows knew that too. So why let it happen? Because the chaos benefited them, not her. A sober, curated, responsible mother version of Gypsy wouldn't give them views, drama, or viral clips. Letting her fall apart publicly served their interests, not her image. Their juvenile behavior didn't stop at the parole party. They continued calling content creators obscene names and using physical threats of violence. They went even further, abusing AI to create vile, defamatory images of creators who have never acknowledged them. Their only insult was daring to speak the truth about Gypsy's case. One creator, in particular, Nicole, was repeatedly and viciously harassed by the crows in the most deplorable ways they could think of. They posted her deceased husband's gravesite and created AI clips of him calling her atrocious names. To a group willing to brand themselves with matching tattoos to prove their allegiance to Gypsy, this must feel like a logical response, but make no mistake, these are seriously twisted individuals. Their tactics reveal exactly who they are and why they're so desperate to silence anyone who threatens their narrative.
I was sent a link to hundreds of videos of that group of people that we're talking about in this video. Hundreds. 600 videos of them sitting online terrorizing people at night and them not being given the chance to defend themselves, basically. 600, actually over 600. So
as the pressure mounts with the truth emerging, the crows are frantic to keep Gypsy's narrative alive. Their own leader, Bree, is running around the internet with fake accounts like it's amateur hour. Using a voice changer, Bree posed as a 19-year-old male and tossed out insults at Audrey that were not only irrelevant, they were laughably false. It was just noise for the sake of noise, like always. And why? Because they never had facts. Not then, not now. And with major networks finally catching on to the truth, the crows are spiraling. You can practically hear them screeching as the spotlight shifts away. They know their slay queen is being dethroned, so they're grabbing at anything, even as imposters, to keep her sitting pretty.
And a massive belly and a massive body and massive arms, massive legs. You have massive everything else but nose, so I'd rather have a massive nose than a small
Wrong.
everything
Everything's
else.
not massive on me. Look at this. I got tiny little toes. Ooh.
Something stink.
No, they don't, babe.
Bree pulled the exact same stunt in that video. Nothing but irrelevant insults, zero facts, and absolutely no connection to the actual case, even though Audrey tried to bring the conversation back to the topic. Just low blows, cheap shots, and mudslinging because that's all they ever bring to the table. When you have no evidence, no truth, and no real defense, all that's left is noise. And the crows always choose cheap noise. The murder of crows has taken their hostility to a level that most viewers are not aware of. They don't just argue online, they behave like a cult, circling the wagons around Gypsy with blind loyalty and attacking anyone who dares disrupt their cause. Creators who simply questioned the inconsistencies in Gypsy's story have needed to involve the police for their own protection. Some have filed for restraining orders to stop the personal harassment. They've received threats of physical violence, like we heard in those earlier clips. This isn't fandom, it's weaponized obsession. They're out for blood to demolish anyone who questions Gypsy's ever-changing story. They move at full speed to punish anyone who speaks the truth or asks the one question that burns them the most: why? And the more unhinged their retaliation becomes, the clearer it is that they're not protecting Gypsy. They're protecting the delusion that keeps their cult alive for their own personal gain. And here's where it becomes truly painful. Gypsy is a mother now. She has a little girl who didn't choose any of this chaos. A child who will eventually come across these videos, these live streams, these embarrassing moments that the internet will never delete. Everything her mother posts becomes part of her daughter's story, whether she wants it or not. This is where true friends should have stepped in, not to control Gypsy, not to shame her, but to protect her image for the sake of her daughter's future. A real friend would have said, "Stop, this will follow Aurora, let's think this over." But instead, the crows kept making excuses that only enabled Gypsy to spiral further. I'm not taking responsibility off Gypsy. I'm showing how the crows made everything worse. Not by causing her behavior, but by excusing it, justifying it, and encouraging it when she needed guidance the most. If for no other reason, they should have protected Gypsy's image for Aurora's sake. This brings me right back to Christy, because she didn't just shape Gypsy's post-prison world. She built it from the ground up. She did the outreach, chased the publicity, and handpicked the people she wanted around Gypsy. And that's exactly why her motives raise red flags. Why saddle Gypsy with a detrimental pack of cheerleaders, postmenopausal mean girls with dubious backgrounds who were clearly more obsessed with clout than concerned about her actual stability? Why hand her off to people who survive on drama like it's oxygen, who cling to notoriety, and who couldn't guide a toddler, let alone someone with Gypsy's history? This isn't a support system, it's a staged disaster, a circle built to exploit her, to keep her spiraling because her chaos is their relevance, and relevance is their payday. Christy knows exactly what Gypsy is: immature, impulsive, and emotionally all over the place. She says she wants Gypsy to grow, to mature, to be a good mother, but her actions speak a lot louder than her words. If Christy truly wanted any of that, she would have surrounded Gypsy with people like her own daughter, Mia. Mia is the proof that Christy is capable of raising someone responsible and grounded. She's shown accountability, stability, and reason, and has never given the public a single reason to doubt her character, and that's exactly why Christy's choices don't make sense if her goal was growth. She would never let Mia hang around the pack of chaotic, unstable people she pushed onto Gypsy. So why Gypsy? Only Christy can answer that for sure, but her pattern is hard to ignore. When something benefits her financially, she commits to it. And that's the reality people need to understand. Christy talks like she wants the best for Gypsy, but every move she's made proves the opposite. She didn't build a support system around her. She built a stage. She didn't choose people who would help Gypsy grow. She chose people who would keep the show running, and she didn't guide Gypsy toward stability. She guided her straight into chaos because chaos brings views, views bring relevance, and relevance brings money. Meanwhile, the viewers aren't blind. We saw Mia and we saw the Crows, and the difference is night and day. Mia shows what Christy can produce when she genuinely wants someone to succeed. Christy can say whatever she wants, but her actions tell the real story. She's not nurturing Gypsy, she's managing a brand. She's not protecting her, she's exploiting her. And she's not fooling anyone, not anymore. And in the middle of all of this chaos sits Aurora, the one person who never asked for any of it, the real victim. The innocent child who will spend the rest of her life scrolling through the digital fallout of decisions adults made for money, attention, and control. Something Christy may not have predicted when she recruited the murder of crows, or worse, something she didn't bother to think about. So the next time you hear Bree or any of the crows squawking, don't let them get under your skin. Now you know what it really is, a performance. None of it is real, none of it is organic. It's a staged act designed to create noise, provoke reactions, and keep the spotlight exactly where they want it. Because at the end of the day, they're not defending Gypsy. They're defending themselves. They're defending the fantasy they've built, the version of Gypsy that gives their lives purpose, relevance, and an excuse to scream at strangers online. The truth threatens that. Accountability threatens that. Growth threatens that. So they smother the truth, drown out accountability, and block Gypsy from growing, not because they love her, but because they need her to stay exactly as she is. Their entire identity hinges on Gypsy remaining the helpless, innocent, fragile doll they can prop up and worship. If Gypsy ever matured, admitted the full story, or stood on her own feet, the murder of crows would lose everything they've built around her. And in the end, their story is only Gypsy's story. It's nothing but an enormous collection of lies that they protect without care or concern for who they hurt. They're hyper-focused on protecting the story that's been told 100 different ways, as if they are protecting their own legacies with lots and lots of annoying noise. They're pawns with feathers on the virtual battlefield. Be careful if you cross one. They'll cheat, steal, and fight without any rules, morals, or integrity. They are Gypsy's murder of crows. Did you think I forgot the key piece of evidence that shows the crows don't have Gypsy's best interests at heart? Nope.
Absolutely did never, like, I would be like, I would lie. I would say absolutely didn't, and be like, there has to be a way that this text message was like falsified or whatever. I don't know. I would just fight for your life, girl, because there are ways. That's the reason I feel like at the end of the day, like they would have to prove it, because there are ways for people to do that. There are actual apps, girl, real apps that will show it's your phone number, even though it's not. Oh shit! Let me. Oh, hold on one second. Okay, thank God I just started this YouTube live because I'm like on the phone with you. I'm like, just lie.
Guys, that last shot done me
Really?
in.
Yeah.
Gather round, stupid old crows. Light your candles, kneel low. You came for your queen of shadow, but you know nothing of the truth, you crow. They flock to my fire in the dead of night, my stupid little crows with their stolen light, calling me slay queen, chanting my name, thinking they're devoted but they're just drunk on flame. They dance around my lies like moths circling doom, praising every false word just to fill their own room. If they cared at all, they'd silence the show. But stupid crows love chaos more than anything I know. They cry out my innocence like it's carved into stone, but it's only their hunger echoing my tone. They're not protecting me, they just want the view, 'cause worship in the dark is the only thrill they ever knew. And hidden in the smoke of my ritual sins, a gentleman took the fall for my greatest sin. They crowned him the killer, so my story stayed pure, but murder was the only act I did for sure. Slay queen, hear the stupid crows cry. Slay queen, slay, by truth my story dies. Slay queen, you did the kill. Slay queen, slay, I'll die on that hill, surrounded by stupid crows chanting her story is real.